Hey guys, Shelter here. Now in this video I'm actually going to be talking about basically how to take out tanks. Now if you saw the last video I made on tanks, it was my basically ranking of tanks, you know, so every tank in the game, how I would rank them compared to the other tanks. And in this thing I'm going to be talking about basically how to take them out, how to take out each tank. Of course I'm going to be using the practice mode. And I'm going to be showing you, some tricks and tips, how to take them out, basically. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. So I'm just going to go onto the firing range. I'm going to start with the Allied tanks, how to take them out first. And then I'm going to move on to the Axis tanks. So let's start. I am also going to be using as you can see, I am definitely going to be using one of these bad boys. I'm using the Panther here, but this usually should work with most targets. I'm also going to be getting out and showing you some good key spots to hit, where to basically aim, where to hit with infantry weapons, with explosive packs, etc. So let's start with the baby of all tanks, the Allies, the Stuart. Now with the Stuart, in my opinion, this actually has one of the clunkiest hitboxes in the game. Now usually where I aim for taking out Stuart is around here, because now as you can see there, that did do a lot of damage to basically everything. But the main reason I'm aiming here on the Stuart is because around this point is because as you can see, the shot's scattering and it's hitting everyone. The machine gun port here probably has the exact same thing, as well as that aiming for around the turret ring. Basically, the turret ring is always going to be a guaranteed weak spot. If you're attacking the Stuart from around the side, probably aim for about. Hold on, let me just try and get to about here, more or less. So you can see here. Of course, this is the. And it'll probably, do enough damage to scatter around the tank. Now, obviously, the hitbox in the Stuart is a bit clunky, so you'll probably have to kill the entire crew. As well as this, aim for the turrets, obviously, which will take out the commander and the gunner, so that's quite useful. Aiming here takes out the driver and the loader, so those are where I would aim for the Stuart. Obviously, of course, like I said, it's very clunky. It's the hitbox is incredibly clunky, so it's best to aim for around here. For taking it out with infantry, I would recommend probably throwing an explosive pack into around there. There you can see it takes it out. The same with aiming. I would recommend aiming for about where I aimed the Panther shell, obviously. You can see there, it basically took out the entire tank, which is, with the explosive pack, very useful. Anyways, now let's just move over to the next tank, which is, of course, the M8 Scott. Now, the M8 Scott is a little bit interesting because it has it's got some good frontal armor. The place I'd recommend hitting is around here. Like I said, it's basically the exact same place where you aim for for the Stuart. You basically aim for about there, as you can see. Honestly, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a Sturm pistol and it could be a Panzerfaust. Hitting around there will usually get a good profit, especially with weapons like the 75s, and you can see, I'll try and replicate it. Oh, I missed there, but aiming around here will basically get a good result. Usually. If I can actually aim it, that is. Yeah, I'm missing completely. I'm not doing a good point here, but basically, yeah, there. You see that. Basically aiming for where I just hit which is the big, the gun around there. So basically the exact same spot as the Stuart, but there's a few major I would say the only major difference is probably that you could basically hit it at the front as well. Like, I would say the Stuart is probably better to hit around the sides with the anti-tank weapons, but with the Scott, it's much better to hit around the front. Also, of course, you can snipe out the commander as well, so that's another good way to minimise Scott's crew. Anyways, that being said, let me move on to the next tank, which is the Sherman. Now, the Sherman's actually quite easy to take out, in my opinion, because there are some massive weak spots with the Sherman. Now, aiming around here will take out most of the crew. Obviously, of course, the Kupol as well is quite good to aim for. You can see, oh, it's hit red. Oh, for God's sake, I'm sorry about the lag, but that just yeah, you want to aim for these box. You can see there's a bit of a box on the side. It bounced them, but I think it's because of the angle. Yeah, it's angled. Yeah. Obviously, of course, trying to angle on the side is quite good. Now, you want to hit, again, like I said, hit around here will usually get a good net result. Now, I'm just going to, another good place to aim, in my opinion, is aiming for the turret. Now, I'll try to find another, let me find another one. I think is that one? Oh, I can't tell. Sometimes I'm pretty sure this is a regular M4. Yeah, those are regular M4s. Now, aiming for the top around here will usually get some good results. As you can see there, that will basically scatter the crew, and you can take out the crew. Obviously, around here again, basically you want to aim for the in-between joints in the armor. I would usually say the tank's right side, so when you're attacking it front on the left side. Now, obviously, of course, like I'm using the 75 here, but this can also work with basically anything. So I'll try to get another one here. It's a little bit more finicky on the left side, but on the right side it's basically a guaranteed kill. Yeah, you can see here you have to aim a slight bit higher on the left side, but basically aim for the sides, essentially, for the Shermans. Now, for throwing E-packs, I would recommend, like, you can see there's a massive weak spot here. That's where you have to aim when it comes to taking out M4A2 Shermans. So that's with anti-tank weaponry, like the Faust. The Faust here will destroy the tank. You also want, for the E-packs, you want to aim for around here, which is where the undercarriage is. Anyways, with that being said, let me move on to the next tank, which is, of course, the one everyone fears. I'm definitely in the best position for this because I'm in the best tank, but the Jumbo actually is not that hard to take out. Now, the way you want to take out the Jumbo is around here, the turret ring. Now, obviously it's a little bit easier taking it out from the side, but the main place you want to aim is the turret ring, and pretty much it's around here. Will usually get a good result. Another good place to aim is the undercarriage, which usually will do a lot of damage. If you can aim it just right back here, I'm doing a bad example here, but usually if you can aim it about just on the undercarriage or something like here, I can't remember, you can destroy it. Another good place to aim, in my opinion, has to be here, because it will set the engine on fire, which it didn't here, but setting the engine on fire for the Jumbo, it's about here, I can't remember where it was. Yeah. Is genuinely just really, it's honestly just really good, because it will just, setting the engine on fire, on most tanks, usually spells certain doom for them. Now, you want to hit, of course, around there. Now, I know I'm not doing too well, but there's also another 2 weak spots here. The first one, this bad boy, this little beauty, machine gun port. Aiming here will send up, especially with a few rounds like the what I've got here, will send a few, you know, it will do a lot of damage. Aiming for around here as well will do heavy damage, especially to the gunner crew, to the gunners. And the commander, I believe, and there's also another one. I usually say the best place to aim for a jumbo, if you're attacking it, is to go from here, from this side, and to aim around here. It's a bit hard to aim, but there's a small section here that if you're using anti-tank, if you're using an anti-tank weapon like a like the anti you know, if you're using an anti-tank weapon like the Sherman pistol, you can actually do that and hit. I've actually got a video of me destroying jumbos, obviously. Another good place to aim, well, for most tanks, is here. The turret. But you can see, hitting the turret around that point, will, even with a 75, will destroy it. And you have to be flanked slightly, so it's a good position to aim for, but other than that, it's actually not too hard to kill jumbos. I know I haven't done much jumbo killing on this video, but oh well, it doesn't matter. So yeah, aim for the rear, basically. Aim for the rear, you know, try and hit the guns a good point. Machine gun couples here and here are good points to kill. This to kill the gunners, this to kill the drivers. But yeah. Anyways, let me move on to the final allied tank, which is of course the M10. The final allied tank to unlock, I've had to basically use the allied tank here, go into the allies and use the allies tank for this, but because of course it's not on the practice range, same with the Panther, you'll see the exact same thing with the Panther. But basically, where to aim on the M10, the place to aim is around here, the sides. The ammo's around the sides, so aiming an explosive pack, even a Sturm pistol around here, will destroy it. You can also use, also of course the commander is up here. If you shoot the, you can snipe the commander. You can't kill the crew though, so be careful about that one. You can only kill the commander. Other than that, you want to try to stay away from the front armor and hit the side armor. About there. About here, basically, will take a lot of damage out of it. Anyways, that was how to take out the allied tanks. Now let us move on to how to take out the Axis tanks, starting with, of course, the Puma, and moving all the way to the Panther. So let us start with the Allies for defeating the Axis tanks here. As you can see, I'm in the M10, obviously. So for defeating the Axis tanks, the first thing I'd recommend doing for the Puma is aiming for around here, like I just saw there. Like you see here, basically aiming for that side on the Puma. It has to be, because the ammo rack for the Puma is on the tank's left side, so meaning that you have to aim for the right side when you're going head up face to face, or you just send around straight through it because it's quite... God, this thing is slow. Yeah, so you want to aim for around... I'm trying to get into the thing. You want to aim for around here. I missed. Slightly a little bit further forward. Missed again. Probably about here. There we go. Finally. Sorry about that. For taking it out with a anti-tank weapon, I would actually say the best place to aim is actually aiming for the turret. Because, so, I'll try and move to this Puma to kind of show you where it's... Sorry, this thing's slow. But basically, you want to aim for around the cupola again with an anti-tank weapon. And basically just hit the turret. It will usually kill a good portion of the crew. If not, aim for the ammo around here. For using explosive packs, same thing. Ammo around here. Now, I missed it there, but you want to aim for about here. What? That bounced? Oh my god, that's actually rare. That's quite rare. A Puma bouncing a fucking 76. Yeah, so Pumas can bounce 76s. As you can see, it's a bit RNG-y, but... yeah. You want to aim... again, it has to be on the tank's left side, so your right side. And aiming for... You can see it on the X-ray. You saw it on the X-ray there. You have to aim for about here. I'm just going to go a little bit closer. It's about here, just behind the second wheel arch, is where you have to aim. Just here. It went straight through, by the way. That's how weak the Puma's armor is. And how shit my aim is. Anyways, let us move on to the next tank, which is, of course, I'm looking right at it. So the Panzer III, I generally have a lot of issues with taking out Panzer IIIs. I would say that's it. Around the middle of the tank, you'll hit the engine and set it on fire. It's quite easy to set it on fire, so that's a good method to take out the tank. You see that. Another method is aiming for about here, because it will basically, again, it takes out most of the crew there. You want to aim for about there, especially when you're using your a tank like, you know, like the M10, which uses has really good AP. If you're using just the base AP, which is on most tanks for the Americans, probably better to aim for the rear. Now, the thing with the Panther III is that its armor is universal, so it's like 50% armor on both sides of the tank. This turret is so slow as well. I'm sorry about this, but basically you want to aim for both sides. You know, you basically want to aim for the rear. Explosive packs, I would say probably getting them onto the top of the tank and pretty much hitting the turret as well. You want to probably hit it round the back, round with the just behind the turret with the explosive pack. Now, let me move on to the Panzer IV. Now, for the Panzer IV, it doesn't matter which version of the Panzer IV. It doesn't matter if it's the Panzer IV-J or the Panzer IV-H. Really doesn't matter. They both have a good criminal weakness there. About halfway down the tank is their ammo rack. So it doesn't matter if you're in a Panzer III. It doesn't matter what tank you're in. Basically, you want to aim for about here. Yeah, right there. There you go. Hits the ammo. Slap bang. The ammo is, again, slap bang straight in the tank. It doesn't... A Piat, bazooka, explosive pack, or a tank round. It doesn't matter. You want to aim for around there. I missed it then, but... basically, you want to aim for about there, and it will take out the tank. It doesn't matter if it's a Panzer IV-J, a Panzer IV-H. It will do the exact same thing. Anyways, now let us move on to the big daddy tank of all, the Panther, and how I would recommend taking it out. I just failed at taking out that Panzer IV then. Let me try again. There we go. Yeah, the H has a little bit of defense because of the, you know, the skirts, but the skirts, again, you can easily pen them. Anyway, let us move on to the Panther. Final Axis vehicle, I've had to, of course, like the Allies, I've had to use the, I've had to get out. But you want to aim for this turret here, the turret. You also want to throw an explosive pack into the wheel arches. So basically those are the guaranteed two. It doesn't matter what you're using. If you're against a Panther, the best thing to do is always aim for the turret. Or about here. Just there. Other than that, there's not really much to say. Explosive pack to the wheel arches is usually pretty good. Or taking out the turret as well. The turret is very critical. Also, of course, same weakness with the jumbos, machine gun, Coopers. Anyways, I'm going to end the video here. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe if you have, and I'll see you guys in the next one.